But you know it's awkward when you're a stepdad stepping in, but I'm a man at the same time.
He definitely has a father. I don't wanna take that. I mean, but I'm his daddy too. So
I have an amazing relationship with my stepfather, so I call him my dad.
Okay.
Man, if parenthood don't teach you accountability, you need to look at yourself as a man, bro. Cause I ain't gonna lie, bro.
One of my favorite topics to discuss here on the Rap Dad Show is by far stepfatherhood. I know how powerful that role can be firsthand because I am one. I came into that role when my son was around 2 years old. But by the time he was around 7 or 8 years old, his biological father moved away. And then I was his only full-time present father. Listen, I know how difficult that role can be with all the pitfalls and obstacles in the way, but it's important and imperative that you overcome them and parent. In this special episode of the Rap Dads Show, you'll hear not only from me, but from a host of rap dads that I've had right here on this show and giving their perspective and sharing their experiences on this topic. By the end of the episode, I know you will be fully equipped. So, welcome to the Rap Dads Show. Now let's talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough. Stepping up without obligation. Being a stepfather is a choice. There's no biological ties that demand that you be a father to that child. Yet, so many rap dads I spoke to gladly stepped into that role because the child was in need.
But you know it's awkward when you're a stepdad stepping in, but I'm a man at the same time.
Talk about it,
and you're jumping
man.
on the damn couch. Stop jumping on the couch.
Word.
I don't need to go tell your mother you're jumping on the couch. Like,
Word.
you know what I'm saying? At the same time, I'm providing and I'm taking care of you and everything like that. And I love you, so I felt there was no problem. But you know what I mean?
That's what makes being a stepfather so special. It's an act of love and not out of obligation. And sure, it's easier for you to say, that's not my child, it's not my responsibility. But that's not what real men do. I'll never forget the day that I was 10 toes down as a stepfather. My wife's son's biological father moved away. And so my wife turns to me and says, are you going to step up and become his dad? To which I responded, he already has a father. So she looked back at me and said, well, then he won't have one. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. To think that I would be living in the same house with this child who deserves an active, present father in his life, knowing that I'm fully capable of fulfilling that responsibility and just sit on the sidelines and watch. I couldn't do it.
He definitely has a father. I don't wanna take that. I mean,
Okay.
but I'm his daddy too. So, I think just me being a real big homie in general, I naturally take people under my wing. And
Talk about
at that time, you know, that was my little guy. He was me. You know what I'm saying? Moved off my ways, my actions. He did everything similar to me. You know, so again, he naturally my first child. But yeah. I mean, I think it was just something that needed to be done, you know, and at the time when me and his mom was together, we can't be a team if we all ain't rocking, you know.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, it's not about DNA. It's about consistency, commitment, and love. And when that child sees you choose them knowing that you don't have to, that can make an impact that lasts a lifetime. And the opposite is also true.
Cause I remember one time, like my mom's, she had a boyfriend, ended up being my stepfather or whatever, right? And I remember I was a kid, right? And he had other kids, so they'd be at the crib or whatever and shit. So, like one time, no, I ain't had no father, so I'm like trying to like latch on. You feel me? Trying to fuck with him, like yo.
Right.
You know what I mean? Cause he was cool, so
Right.
I'm like, word. You know what I mean? I'm fucking with him, trying to get cool with him. So I'm playing with him. You know what I mean? And his son, you know, kids ain't got no chill.
None.
I'm a kid too.
Right.
So I'm playing with him, and his son said something to me. I'll never forget it. I never forget what he said to me when I was playing with him. He was like, get off my dad, like, get your own dad or some shit like that.
Wow.
And it fucked me up, like, as a kid. I'm like, what? Like, it broke me, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? Cause I ain't had no father.
Right.
But he a kid too. He just
Right.
saying some shit
But
like,
they be saying the wild.
you know kids, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that shit struck me.
Man.
And I'm just like, I broke off of him, cried, you feel me? My mom's grabbed me, you know what I'm saying? She started showing me pictures and shit and just like getting me right. But I never ever called a man dad ever. Like, I'm like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just
Right.
turned me to a different person. Like, I don't even know how I feel to say the word dad.
Right.
Word up.
So for every man out there that's stepping up, even when they don't have to, I salute you because you're not only filling in a gap, you're changing a life. One of the hardest parts about being a stepdad is finding that balance between discipline and love. You want to be respected, but you also want to be trusted. You want to be firm, but you don't want to be feared. And let's just be real. Stepping into an already established family dynamic can be very difficult.
I was aware of the relationship. I didn't want to overstep.
Same.
You know, when it came to, I try to put myself in his shoes. You have a new child, under 3 years old. The relationship has stopped. The child's mother is moving on with someone else. I'd be pissed. I'd be, a little angry. I'd be a little bitter.
Right.
And I don't know what he was, but I just know I was trying to be as, how can I put it, man? Accommodating.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
I wanted to be open. Understanding.
Right.
And, it wasn't like he didn't talk in the beginning, but it was just like, there was some standoffish type of activity.
Mm-hmm.
And, so a lot of times, man, I would just try to put myself in his shoes. And then it got to a point where I was like, I don't know if we can curse or anything, but in my mind, I was just like, then fuck it, man. You know what I'm saying? If that's how you want to be, that's how you want to be.
Right.
It's not going to stop me in the relationship I am with, the kid's mom. And eventually that kind of broke down a little bit. And I think that was, again, as a man, you just don't know who this person is.
Right. As stepfathers, we don't automatically get that role of authority. We have to earn it. But that's where love comes in, because love is what helps for discipline to be received and not resented.
Man, honestly, it's just like you said. I learned what to do by what my stepfather didn't do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and he used to tell on me a lot. And my mom, things he saw me do, my mom would come ask me about it, and I didn't never want to do that.
The key is to lead with love, but stay consistent in discipline. If you're all discipline with no love, then you become a drill sergeant. If you're all love and no discipline, then you lose respect. The magic is in the balance.
I have an amazing relationship with my stepfather, so I call him my dad.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Word, absolutely.
So he's been in my life probably since I was probably like 6.
Okay.
Maybe 6 or 7, around my son's age, honestly. You know what I mean? And it was the best thing oh man, if I ain't have it, I don't know where I'd be at.
I love that.
Like,
man.
honestly, bro, honestly.
I've learned that discipline works best when it's rooted in why. I don't lead with the because I said so. I make sure that my sons understand why I am setting boundaries. That way they understand that discipline is coming from a place of protection, not power. Explain to your children why they're being disciplined. Mm-hmm. Because if you're beating your child and they don't understand why, you're abusing them.
Yep.
Period. Patience is a virtue. You're stepping into a child's life and showing them structure, maybe in a way they've never seen before. That takes time. But when love is at the foundation, they'll eventually see that you're not there to control them. You're there to guide them.
I give them about 17 tries when I get tired of saying stop that. So, when you, they already, yeah.
You know what time it is.
Yeah, but hey, I do not hit my kids.
I love that,
so,
yes.
I get them together.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. As stepfathers, we don't get the same trust that biological fathers do. We have to build it brick by brick. One of my favorite guests has been Principal Akbar Cook. He has a great take on how extending grace has earned him trust. You lead with love and you also extend grace. Like you said, if I have to do this again, then I'm gonna tell all the things, which means I saw all the things and I didn't bring that up. Like I extended that grace to you. Yeah. Talk about like, you know, how you balance that and when you decide to pull the trigger versus when you extend that love.
I think when I told you how I became into teaching, it was some administrators trying to get rid of me, and I didn't know why. I was like, man, I'm with the kids, everything going good, and long story short, some people gave me a chance, right? Gave me a second chance, because they just gave up on me. They could have just said, he's not it, this and that. Who knows where I'd be at this time, right? So I always try to extend that to wherever I'm at. And these kids, sometimes they don't have the right parental, you know what I mean, involvement or execution or whatever. They're running their household. So they don't know. So if I'm saying, listen, like, and nothing egregious, like I can't let nothing egregious go, but they know, like, I will work with them. I will extend that olive branch to you. But the same way I show them that I'll run through a wall for them, because sometimes I got to eat some of that, right? They're going to do the same thing for me. You know what I mean? So they keep me safe. When I first got to North Vocational, the basketball team made me cool. They made me, nah, that's big bro. Like, nah, he good. Leave him alone. Like, nah, listen to him, bro. Like, little stuff like that. So now I'm not getting cursed out. The kids are like, yo, you cursing out a cook? Are you crazy? Or whatever. So I don't have that, because I show them that I would do whatever I can for them.
Kids will test you and they will push back. But it's not because they don't want to trust you. It's because they want to make sure that you're real. They want to make sure that you mean what you say, that you're a man of your word, and that you're not just here for their mother, you're here for them too. You have to be consistent and keep showing up. In my book, The 10 Dad Commandments, I share a story about how my son tried to sneak out of the house to take a drug test for his friend. So I put him up on game and told him all the ways that it would fail if he didn't keep it at body temperature. I even taught him how to transport it. And even though it was something that he thought I wouldn't approve of, I stood strong. I was a ride or die dad. I had his back, and that had a huge lasting impact on our relationship. Another big way to gain respect is to apologize to them when you're wrong. Last time you had to apologize to your kid.
That's crazy. This week or last week or whatever, it was I walked in the room, I guess she farted. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, did you shit on yourself? She was like, no. And I came, you know how you smell the diaper? I'm like, Kenzie, do you use the restroom? She was like, no. I'm like, Kenzie, I smell it. Like, you a big girl. You can't be in here playing with toys and you still using the restroom on yourself. Like, you a big girl. I'm not going to be letting you play with toys and do all. She started crying. I'm like, I don't care about you crying. You got to woo, woo, woo. She was like, it was real tears. And kind of found out her mama came in there because she about to change the diaper. She's like, she didn't poop. I'm like, oh, she didn't poop, she farted. And I felt so bad because it's like she was innocent, but she didn't know how to tell me, like, no, Dad, I didn't. I felt bad because I'm like, I put her in a situation for her, like, not to defend herself. You know, like having a girl and, like you don't know what them in that situation. I just felt bad as fuck, bro. I bought so much ice cream and all kind of shit, bro. I felt bad. Like, even her mama, I told mama go get her hair done, buy her cookie crumble, but not too much because don't give them too much sweets. But like, you know what I'm saying? I've just been gifting her every day. Like, every time she used the restroom, like, she fully potty trained. Like, I got the phone with her before he came in here. You feel me? I told mama just go do something for her. Nice. I just feel so bad, bro, that I made her cry when she didn't even use the restroom on herself. So yeah, it's crazy you asked me that because I was fucked up inside. Like, I'm a bad person.
Word. No, I love that. One of the biggest mistakes a stepfather can make is trying to force a connection or relationship. Respect is not something you demand. It's something you prove. And proving it takes time, consistency, and patience. And remember, presence is powerful. Keep showing up time and time again, and you will gain ground. I can promise you it'll be worth it in the end. As I wrap up this episode, I want to leave you with this last piece of advice. No matter how terrible a person your stepchild's biological father is, never speak negatively about that man around the child. If you can influence the mother to never speak ill also, it would be wise. You don't want to build resentment towards you or the biological father, and you never want to skew that child's impression or perspective of their dad. Later on, as that child grows up, they'll recognize on their own who was there and who wasn't, who chose them and who chose to ignore them. A stepfather isn't just a replacement in a child's life. It can be an addition, which would bring lessons, mentorship, and love. Stepfathers sometimes step up into a child's life and provide a father figure that they would otherwise never have. I believe our fatherhood journey begins with our relationship with our very own father. And for some children who don't have a father, that could be a very difficult thing when they find themselves in the role of a dad. I hope this episode blessed you, and if it did, please leave a comment, subscribe, and share it with another rap dad. You can find my book, The 10 Dad Commandments, Fatherhood Through the Lens of Hip Hop, at therapdadshow.com, along with other resources. Good luck on your fatherhood journey. May God bless you and your family. Peace.